Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Monday. Today, I'm going to carry on talking about how to effectively plan to exit your business. And in particular, I'm going to talk about what you can do to increase the amount of value that you get from your business when you exit. So that's assuming that you're going to exit by selling. In a couple of weeks, I'll talk about different strategies for exiting that don't necessarily include directly selling. But for today, let's kind of slightly recap what I talked about last week in terms of what is it that drives the value of a business to somebody who's buying it. And secondly, talk about, and most importantly today, talk about what can we do to change that in our own favour. So last week I talked about there being three factors which drive the value of a business. And the actions that we can take to improve the value of your business to get more money for it, pretty much address each of those three factors in turn. I'm going to go kind of in the reverse order from the order that I went in last week and talk about those factors in the order that you can most readily make a change. So the first thing is finding somebody who wants to buy your business that is going to value it highly. So getting somebody that's got good strategic fit. And the kind of things that make a buyer or a potential buyer see your business as more valuable when they're going to get more leverage from your customers than you can get from them by yourself. So often that means that you're looking after the same customer groups but providing different products or services than the buyer is. Or in some cases, you might be providing similar products and services, but you're looking after different customer groups. So the combination of the two businesses together is stronger than either of the businesses separately. And the fairly obvious, the best way that you can increase the value of your business in this way is to be better at finding a good buyer. Ironically, for most of us, we actually know who's in our industry and who's next to us and who's around us. We just tend to see them as competition rather than seeing them as potential people to buy our business. So if we can start seeing those kind of almost competitive people as potential buyers rather than as competitors, then we find really good places to go looking for people to buy our business at a really good price. And that's exactly been my experience in helping people sell their business, is find someone who's really close but not an actual direct competitor. Because they're in our industry, we're also more likely to find people that we know a bit about and we know whether or not we want them to own our business in the future. The second and more time-consuming way to increase the value of our business talks about how much effort you need to put in to run the business on a day-to-day basis. And no surprises, as a process person, I'm going to say that if you can improve your systems and processes and make it easier to operate your business, then that's going to make your business more valuable to somebody who's buying it. And in fact, last week I talked about the multiplier that comes with how difficult is it to operate your business. And if you've got a business which really only you can run it, then that multiplier could be as low as 1. And if you've got a business that really anybody could run it and it runs itself, and in fact even not just runs itself but grows itself, then that multiplier could move from 1 all the way up to 3 or 4. Unfortunately, putting in place systems and processes is not the kind of thing that you can do in a day or a week. Usually you're going to have to invest over a period of months or even a couple of years, but often over a period of months, to make a significant difference to how valuable your business is. Even more unfortunately, the third option, which is to increase your profitability, usually takes you a period of a couple of years. Not so much because it takes a couple of years to increase your profitability, but because nobody actually believes you've increased your profitability until you've produced at least a couple of end of financial year statements that say that your profitability has changed. So even if you can make significant changes to your profitability in a matter of weeks or months, you really need to operate with increased profitability for a period of at least 2, but generally speaking 3 financial years before people will use that to change the price that they'll pay for your business. So that means that we've got in order of timeliness, 3 different ways that we can make changes that significantly change the value that we get for our business. We can be much more aware of who our business is valuable to in the shorter term. In the medium term, we can work really actively on our systems and processes, particularly to reduce the amount of ongoing effort that's required to operate the business. And lastly, we can improve the profitability of the business and maintain that profitability over a medium-term period of time, 3 years preferably, and up to as long as you want. But people generally only look at the last 3 years worth of financial returns. That's pretty much all I had to talk about today about what you can do to influence the value of your business. Next week, I'm going to stay talking about business exit planning, but I'm going to shift my focus from value to values, in fact. So how do you make sure that when you exit your business, it's something that you're comfortable with? And how do you prepare for that in advance? So how do you think about and get ready for what would I need to do to exit my business? And based on the timelines that I just said, it might be 2 years away, it might even be 5 years away. But what do I need to think about? So I'll cover off some of those things in the session next week.